Welcome everyone. Today we're diving into an intriguing hands-on DIY experiment that challenges our conventional ideas about energy. The focus is on a project that builds something called the Orgone Energy Motor.
I'm really excited to dig into this. It's a project that promises not just a build, but a journey into alternative energy concepts, right?
Exactly. So this device takes inspiration from the work of Dr. Wilhelm Reich, who proposed that there's a universal life force permeating everything, what he called Orgone energy. And the idea is to harness that ambient force using everyday components like copper wire, magnets, and even some wooden parts.
I find that super fascinating. It's like turning unseen forces into tangible motion. But isn't it a bit controversial since mainstream science doesn't really back up the concept of orgone energy?
Absolutely, it's definitely controversial. Reich's theories never gained mainstream traction, yet here we are with a DIY project that offers a way to explore these ideas hands-on. It's more about experimentation and sparking curiosity than replacing your home energy system.
Right, so people build it more for the experience and education than for actual power generation. It's like a creative experiment rather than a commercial power solution.
Exactly. The device is designed to create continuous motion by maintaining an energetic imbalance between its moving parts, but it doesn't rely on conventional fuels like electricity or gas. Instead, it taps into what Reich claimed was a natural energy all around us.
And it's really accessible too. Anyone can build it with materials you can pick up locally. It's a neat blend of art and science.
Right. It's designed so that even beginners can assemble it with clear step-by-step instructions. The kit includes detailed blueprints, diagrams, a comprehensive materials list, and even bonus guides. Let's say, for example, the extras include instructions for things like a Van de Graaff generator and something called the Adams motor.
That really adds value. It turns the project into more than just one experiment. It's a whole bundle for exploring alternative energy concepts.
Yeah, and it even encourages self-reliance and off-grid thinking. Instead of relying on massive energy infrastructures, it's like empowering you to experiment independently.
It sort of taps into that DIY spirit, questioning established norms about how we use and understand energy. But I have to ask, how does the motor actually work? Isn't it just a series of vibrations sometimes?
Well, that's a valid point. The motor works by using principles like resonance. The setup involves arranging magnets, copper coils, and sometimes even an orgone accumulator in a specific way to draw in ambient energy. Now, results can be subtle, often just a gentle vibration that shows the principle in action.
So, while you might not be powering your entire home with it, you're definitely observing a fascinating physical reaction that makes you think about energy in a totally different way.
Exactly. It's the journey of discovery that counts here. It's more about learning and experiencing physics, and maybe a touch of the mystical, with each component interacting to produce that small, consistent motion.
And speaking of physics, the principles almost remind me of early Tesla experiments. Those ideas about electromagnetic resonance and frequency tuning pop up here too, don't they?
Yes, it's like drawing inspiration from both Reich and Tesla. While Tesla focused on electromagnetic fields, Reich brought an almost esoteric quality by proposing a universal life force. It's a weird, fascinating blend.
Right? I love that mix, though I do wonder if all this mysticism might be a tad off-putting for some folks looking for hard science.
That's a good criticism. I mean, the project is very much rooted in alternative science, and definitely not everyone is comfortable with ideas that lack conventional scientific backing. But the goal isn't to replace traditional power systems. It's more about opening up discussion and, fostering a DIY mentality.
So, it can be seen as more of an educational tool and a conversation starter, rather than a definitive energy solution.
Exactly, and that's what really makes it appealing. It pushes you to question and explore energy in a completely fresh light, and if you get a little spark of curiosity from building it, then that's a win in itself.
Totally, and the fact that it uses simple, low-cost materials means that it's very low risk. Even if you don't end up with a powerful energy source, the act of building it is a whole learning experience.
Yep, and there's a neat feature on the site, a 60-day money-back guarantee That means you can try out the project, see if it resonates with you, and if not, your investment is protected.
That's reassuring, especially for people new to this kind of alternative experiment. Reducing the risk factor can really encourage more people to dive in.
And let's not forget the community aspect. Lots of builders have shared their success stories, like feeling a gentle vibration or just having a rewarding DIY experience. It's a shared journey into these unconventional ideas.
I saw reviews from folks in places like Arizona and Florida who were genuinely excited after building their own motors. It's incredible how something that isn't mainstream still ignites that passion for discovery.
Right. Even if mainstream science may not validate Orgone Energy, the act of building, experimenting, and discussing these ideas has its own merit. It almost democratizes innovation and opens the door for personal energy exploration.
Yeah, and it's not just about energy, it's also about embracing a spirit of independence, challenging the norm, and literally getting your hands dirty with science.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. Every major innovation started with someone challenging the status quo, questioning what was considered possible. This project does that on a personal scale.
You make a great point, but I still wonder, with all the debates around its efficacy, might there be a risk of misleading those who expect a fully functional power alternative?
That's a fair concern. The creators are pretty clear that the Orgone Energy Motor is more for exploration and learning than as a practical power solution. It should be embraced as an experiment rather than a miracle motor.
So, enthusiasts need to keep their expectations in check and see it as a hobby, one that can spur more rigorous experiments in the future.
Right, it's about the spirit of inquiry. And actually, the included bonus guides seem to encourage that, by suggesting modifications, offering adjustment tips, and even proposing further projects like the Adams motor for more nuanced exploration.
And those bonuses broaden the appeal. Even if someone remains skeptical about the Orgone concept, they can still gain valuable practical experience with alternative energy projects.
Exactly. It's like an entry point into the world of off-grid and experimental energy ideas. Plus, the technical skills you pick up along the way are pretty transferable.
Yeah, what I like is that it turns energy exploration into a creative process. With all the clear instructions and additional guides, it's almost like a mini workshop you can do at home.
Absolutely. And it bridges the gap between theory and practice. Instead of just reading about energy, you actually engage with it, observing how slight adjustments to magnets or coil positioning can change the motor's behavior.
And that hands-on learning process is perhaps more valuable than any textbook. It fosters real innovation by encouraging you to experiment and observe directly.
Right on. Even though the Orgone energy theory hasn't stood up to mainstream scientific validation, the process of experimenting with it can lead to a deeper understanding of how energy in various forms might interact with matter.
And at the end of the day, if nothing else, it fuels a passion for tinkering and inspires creative thinking.
Yeah, it's a perfect example of how sometimes the journey is more enriching than the destination. It invites you to reimagine how energy might work, not just in batteries or fuels, but as something that can be approached in a completely new way.
Plus, in a world where energy costs are rising and sustainability is key, rethinking our energy sources, even on a small scale, can lead to some really innovative ideas in the future.
Absolutely. I mean, every experiment like this lays the groundwork for questioning, tweaking, and maybe someday redefining how we see our energy future. And that's pretty cool in its own right.
Right. I agree. Even if I remain a bit cautious about its practical applications, the spirit of exploration and independent innovation is undeniable.
Exactly. It's a perfect mix of DIY fun, scientific curiosity, and the brave challenge of conventional norms. So whether you're in it for the hands-on experience or the broader ideas it represents, the Orgone Energy Motor has something to offer.
Well said. It's been a fascinating discussion, pushing us to think about energy, innovation, and creativity in fresh ways.
Thanks for the engaging chat. It really reminds us that sometimes exploring uncharted territory is the best way to learn, even if it means embracing ideas that lie outside mainstream science.
Absolutely. Cheers to experimenting, questioning, and continuing to push those boundaries.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep tinkering, and never stop questioning what might be possible.
Yep, here's to new ideas and the thrilling pursuit of creativity.